some stuff with a nuclear missile. What are you going to do when he finds that out?
What's that?
The all that stands between this country and the destruction of the world.
He's arming the warheads.
Alright, get out of there. Get out! I will blow this stuff up before you can even reach that box.
So today, my fellow Whovians, we have the review on the Cold War, and it is quite ironic that I'm holding a screwdriver in my hand because it appears that in this episode the Doctor pretty much lost it for most of the episode. Now today I have a notepad with me because I took notes, so I'm going to be all professional about my review this time rather than rambling on about stupid crap. Whenever we have these kind of episodes where the Doctor loses his TARDIS and then his screwdriver, I have this terrible, sick feeling in my gut. It's like the world around us is crashing down. It is the equivalent of Harry Potter losing his wand. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. That is the metaphor. I've found that we've had some of these episodes, not so much with Matt Smith, but we had episodes like this with Tennant before, and it was interesting to see how they were comparing the two of them. I found a lot with Tennant's episodes when he lost the TARDIS or he lost his sonic screwdriver, he was a lot more frantic and crazy about it. Whereas with Matt Smith's interpretation of the 11th Doctor, he got seriously pissed off. I found that this Doctor, without his contraptions, it seemed he was very insecure. And that leads on to my next point about the Doctor being insecure around really just not that scary characters. Now, we've had this a lot, and you know what, this is probably going to happen throughout all this series, and it's probably never going to change, and I have no problem with that. It's just me being picky. But I'm sick of bad guys that get talked up so much. Like, with the Ice Warrior dude we had in Cold War, he talked him up so much that he killed universes and all this kind of stuff. And yes, he did rip people's bodies apart, but the way the Doctor described him, I felt like this bad guy should be more, and it even happens with the Cybermen now. Even the Weeping Angels aren't so terrifying. I don't know what it is or whether it's just me, but I'm finding that the characters are becoming less scary and just more laughable than anything. Even the Daleks now, if you can remember back to the episode of End of Time, at one point they were kicking them around. So how can we take our bad guys seriously if the show isn't? Now this episode I can't make fun of Moffat or Moffat or whatever anyone likes to call him because he did not write this episode. This episode was in fact written by Mark Gatiss, who plays not Moriarty, he plays Mycroft in Sherlock Holmes, the BBC version. So for those of you who don't know who that is, Google it. Another thing, just me being nitpicky, got nothing really to do with the plot in general, was Matt Smith's eyebrows. Now we all know that they are virtually non-existent, and you would think that running around on a set that's wet that your hair gets darker. The top of his head did, but in fact I think his eyebrows became more invisible than they usually are. And my biggest angry no that this episode did was, alright, I understand we kind of got a season to go over and we want to spread things across there, but we're kind of having these mediocre adventures everywhere. We've been introduced this character, Clara, and she's died twice and she's got all this mystery surrounding her. She had a leap that was eternal. She has a book written by Amy Williams. She's got all these different things around her, all these mysteries, and what I'm finding is we're just not touching on that. I remember with a lot of the River Song plot point, there was still kind of here's and there's to that. There was not specifically answers to it, but there were clues to who she could be or more parts of the story. But I'm finding with Clara, we're just not getting anything. I mean, last episode we did get a bit of character development, but we didn't get any story development so far. I'd say the most that Clara did to develop her story character this episode was being freaked out and finally realizing that the traveling with the Doctor isn't always as fun as it seems. That obviously was when she walked in and she saw all the ripped apart, dismantled bodies of the sailormen. And it's really kind of annoying me because even the trailer for the next episode, which is about some ghost, I'm not sure what it's called, that doesn't look like it has anything to do with Clara either. I think we're just going on these wild goose chases everywhere, but we're not really doing anything with it. And since this is supposed to be the big year, I'm actually starting to get worried about the 50th anniversary. The episodes are okay, but they're just not building up to anything. Even in with the kind of first series of the reboot, we had the Bad Wolf thing. Series 5, we had the crack in the wall. Series 6, we had the silence. Just, we're not getting anywhere with this. We've kind of had the first part where they wanted to send that Pons off while kind of bringing in a bit about Clara, but now we're just not going anywhere, and it needs to progress, it needs to move forward, and I'm just afraid that we're not going to have enough build up, so by the time we reach the 50th anniversary it's not going to be as awesome as we want. Overall, this episode, it wasn't too bad. We're just not going anywhere with things. It's alright, but it's not going to be some kind of episode later on that I'm saying, oh, it's my favourite, I love it forever kind of thing. It's just kind of a filler episode, and we've had like 2 or 3 fillers now, and I want something more. So come on, writers, please don't let me down with the next episode with the ghost hunting and stuff. So don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I want to hear your comments. What are your thoughts on this episode? Do some of my things that I'm coming out with sound stupid? Then tell me down below. I'm waiting for you. Alright, allons-y. Also, for all of you people that are already subscribed to me or want to see some of my other videos, this Friday I am putting out a new video that is not related to Doctor Who. So there we go, first thing on this channel not related to Doctor Who. Enjoy!